I love our theme music. I just love it. I
It's nice.
wonder, Matt, I wonder if I love our theme music or it's like a reverse effect where I love our show so much that when I hear the theme music that I know starts it, I get really hyped.
I thought you were going to be like, have I like Stockholm syndrome myself into loving it after hearing it week after week or whatever? I think that's the right word. They're the right phrase. Do I love it or have I just been conditioned to love it?
That does happen with some things. I
It's
get
like,
it.
because it's not going anywhere, so you better fucking love it.
A good thing I do. Hello to everybody who loves Merri Hour. We're so happy you are here. On the earliest side this Friday, I can ask you this because we spoke about it last week. Can you tell everybody why we're streaming early today?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to get a tattoo later. So it's simple. I'm going to Anaheim now. And it is a half-day session. So I will be... I mean, it's black and white, half day on my thigh. Like I'm just blowing the thigh out. So it's nothing like I'm not doing anything crazy like rib cages or under pinchy parts.
What is the longest you've ever sat for a tattoo and how long will this compare?
I did this one. I'm doing terrible at this. I did that one.
Just looking at yours.
And that one. So I did 1, 2 in one shot.
Okay.
So I think that was about an hour 30 each. So like it equated.
Not that bad. I would have thought those would have taken longer actually.
Well, like hour 30 in the chair and then like, timing for other stuff, obviously. But yeah, so like I think like 3 hours I've done before. So.
And this one is going to be how many hours specifically?
Like 4, I think. Like because it's basically like I'm starting at 4 and it's a half day, so I'm thinking like 4 to 8. So. Okay.
I don't know what a half day is because I don't work normal hours ever.
That's fair. So like I mean I took off my day job. Like the only reason I'm streaming right now is because I literally took my PTO day at my day job. Yeah. I am off work. So basically all I have to do today is go to Anaheim and get a tattoo. And I'm going to go to my favorite brewery over there and just have a beer afterwards.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Treat myself.
I'm a little jealous of that part. I think I'm pushing pause on tattoos for a little while. I accumulated, I think, like 3 in 2 years, and then I'm like, all right, that's a lot in one shot, right? Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm on 5. So I have 5 right now, and then this will be 6.
You know, you have a lot when you have to stop and think. Sometimes I still say the wrong number.
So I always forget about the cheeseburger up here. This is the one, and like it's not that I forget it because I don't like it, but because that's the one that's fully covered at all times. Yeah, so like it's here fully covered, and I don't see it unless I look in the mirror. So like I can see these. I know these 3 are here. I know this one's here also too, which is funny, but
yeah. Sometimes I guess I forget to count the Fantastic Fest one because it's right here, and maybe because I don't see it often. I'm just so used to only like working with the same spots on my body, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but then it's 7.
That's my. So like I was like, do I go to my thighs? Like, what do I do here? And I'm like, do I just put on my other arm? And I ultimately chose thigh placement because I love the artist's work. It's the first time I'm going for a new artist. These are all done by the same guy. And I found this artist that I fucking fell in love with. And she does really, really detailed, like black and white portrait kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, if I'm going to get a tattoo from her, I want to give her like space and also time. So I was like, all right.
Prime real estate over there.
Right. So I said, I'm like, we're going to do like a 5x5 right on my thigh and like give half day. And yeah, I'll show it obviously, like when I get it and stuff.
Show me with your hands how big it's going to be.
Well, like 5x5. So like 5 inches.
Show me with your hands. Give me like
my hands aren't rulers. What the fuck are you?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like because now I can compare it to your head. I don't know.
Well, like so I actually measured it and it takes up kind of like the space of my frontward thigh. Like it's a good width and stuff like that. So like it'll be half visible from my shorts and half not visible. I don't know. This is.
I look forward to seeing it.
Wait, hold on. I do want to like because like people talk about this like my parents obviously, and then I don't know if it's addicting. So the thing I say like I only get tattoos when I want to get them.
Yeah.
But I will say I think it's more that people are afraid of tattoos at first. Like I never liked needles growing up. So to me, it's like, why would I get a tattoo ever? That's actually scary. Someone's poking me over and over again with a needle. But then when I actually did it and I was like, you know what? I'm 30 now. Like I didn't get my first tattoo till 30. And I did it because it had meaning. It had something that I really liked. And I was like, if I'm going to get my first tattoo, it's got to mean something. And it
Yeah.
does. So I did. And going through that process and realizing how like it didn't hurt as much as I thought it was going to do. Like it's a tickle, it's a kind of vibration, and it's weird, and it's much easier on your bicep, obviously. So like I've done all easy tattoos in a way, but I think for me it was conquering the fear and realizing how I can represent myself and express myself in unique ways and ways that I like doing. And there is a tiny catharsis in the pain. Like the joke about like I don't go to therapy, I just get tattoos. Like yeah, when you're in the tattoo chair and like the pain takes over a little bit, it's like you suffer for something, but then when you see it finally done, it's like that's cool as shit. So like the act of maybe going through a little pain for something that's fucking awesome. I think that's there. I think that's there.
I don't know if I've ever thought about my tattoos that way, but it's definitely a situation for me, at least, where you get one and it just makes it easier to get another. It's not
Yeah.
addictive to the extent that, like, I can't stop it. I must get them
Right.
all the time. But once you get one, it does, for a multitude of reasons, make the next one easier. And I like looking at them as kind of like little time capsules. People
Yeah.
always ask, when you get a tattoo, like, what if you don't like it in 5 years? Like, you know what? If I'm not that enthusiastic about that thing in 5 years, it's still a great memory that I was enthusiastic about it 5 years ago. So, I mean, it's not really the case with any of my tattoos. I love them all dearly, but they bring me right back to very particular points in my life, and I appreciate that.
I am of the mindset that I'm happy I waited until like 30. Because
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
I am well, but like you're not covered though. Like and yours
No.
are like minimal and they do mean something, but like I could see myself as like a 20-year-old or like 21, 22. And if I got into it then, I probably might have gotten one or two of things that I liked then that I no longer like now. But like now I'm more comfortable with who I am. So like the things I'm getting, I am comfortable with in a way that I know will be around for a while, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So like that's kind of where I'm happy I waited a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely didn't wait, but I spaced them out now that I think about it. I feel like I was like 20 when I got my first one. I might have been 25 for the next. It's like bungee jumping.
Oh, I was gonna say, can you confirm? I mean, you're the one that's present.
No, because bungee jumping is a fleeting experience, whereas a tattoo is on you for the rest of your life. But I will say I at least categorize them a similar way in terms of like bucket list type stuff. I put them in the same grouping. I would go bungee jumping again. I'm probably gonna get another tattoo again at some point in my life.
We'll do a Merri Hour tattoo.
Oh God. I mean,
that'll be a live stream one day.
God,
or we can just do it at Fantastic
literally the second you said that, Matt, I'm like, no. And then my mind immediately shifted gears to what could a Merri Hour, like a clever Merri Hour tattoo look like?
Or we could just go to Fantastic Fest this year.
So I said to myself, I already have one Fantastic Fest tattoo. I'm not getting another. If I saw something on that sheet that was like the biggest deal in the world to me, I would rethink. But I will say the pressure this year on one of those things being the right designs is much higher than it was last year. Last year I showed up and I knew I was getting one of those tattoos.
I agree with that. Yeah, they're also movie themed. Like they're all coded to the movies that are at the festival. So like this year I think there's like, less that I'm enthused about in tattoo form.
I was gonna say, like, what would I possibly? I mean, admittedly, I did think about the VHS tape last year, although last year's VHS tape was Toxie themed, I believe.
It was, yeah. Everything was kind of Toxie themed, I think. But the VHS tape was like one because that could be used like you don't have to know that's for VHS and that you got it at Fantastic Fest. It's literally just a videotape that can be multi-purpose.
Like, yeah, I mean that one I did like. I liked the ghost though.
The one I regret is the ray gun. My first year there, and I didn't do it. But like the ray gun is the one that kind of stuck with me. And again, it's multi-purpose. Like if you don't know it's Fantastic Fest, it's just a cool little ray gun.
Yeah, I've seen the ray gun on a couple of people. You definitely egging us on here. I mean,
like literally, I'll fucking.
It's not that difficult. I feel like both of us would be like, yeah, we'll do it.
Wait, hold on.
This is.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Wait. This is. So I was gonna get like a legit Scream tattoo that was purely that, but when Dewey passed, I made this. My Scream tattoo.
That's technically Scream.
My deputy Dewey with his
I
Little
am
deputy hat
surprised
on.
I got a ghost face tattoo before you did. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't do art, like show a tattoo right now. I'm just fucking stupid.
Honestly,
Like,
I
but
just
like,
had a hard
yeah.
time doing that too.
I'm just like, how do bodies work? What is it? What is this? How do I show this?
This just made me laugh out loud.
Ray gun. No, not this was like an
There's
actual ray
all of
gun.
them. Oh
God
my
damn
god,
it.
this is funny that this is all people think about
I was
now.
gonna
I
say
love
I
it.
love how ray gun has infiltrated popular culture in
Right.
the way that like it literally just took over. Now I can't say the word ray
It's
gun
amazing.
without it being like sci-fi movies have been around forever. Fucking it's been fucking a week since ray gun broke the
Yeah,
internet.
really. Oh, that's
Um
funny.
I do want to bring that last one up though really quickly.
Yeah, I
What
missed
did I
what it
just say?
was.
Yeah. So I've actually been watching a lot of Ink Master. So like
Mm,
when I am doing work or when I am writing or something like that, sometimes I'll have like a YouTube video to the side if I have dual monitors. So especially if I'm doing busy work. And honestly, God, what channel is fucking Bar Rescue and
oh god, don't ask
Ink
me this.
Master? This is dumb. I'm blanking out what it is. Anyway, whatever channel has those shows on, they do these supercut compilations of like every best tattoo in season 8, and it's like an hour long. And like I can kind of speed watch seasons. So I've been watching so much Ink Master and like getting the feel of like, how these artists work and like seeing them really be scrutinized and like how they like chew
Hmm.
up skin sometimes if they are going too heavy handed, or the ones that like can navigate it with a much smoother touch. Like it's really interesting all like the technicality behind tattooing. Like it's not just ink, needle, done. Like there's so much technique behind it. Like I need to like actually go back and rewatch. I saw some seasons of Ink Master a while ago, but I didn't know they were on like season fucking like 15, 16 or some shit.
Hmm. Um, what was your toughest? This is
So
like tattoo talk today. I like it.
yeah, no, it's fine. What I always say is I don't have a tough tattoo, but so right here on the bottom spike of the
Oh,
candy cane. So once you get here, once you start to get like this area, like that's what sucked. Like so down here sucked a little bit. And then the hamburger when it started getting over here towards like the pit, that's the only time it's really sucked for me. Like I did chest here. And like I have a tattoo like right here, and I didn't feel that. Like that, I thought that was actually gonna be
yeah.
painful. I laid there and I could have taken a nap. I didn't even feel a damn thing on it.
I didn't feel anything at all with the ones on my thighs or this one, but this one, when it got down to the bottom here, like, no, I can't do it. To the little grassy bits, like the little grassy bits over here,
Mm-hmm.
that hurt. But by far, the one that hurt the most is this one.
Yeah, rib cage is like not.
Oh my God.
That's the like known fuck that like like you do it if you want to
That
obviously, but
hurt.
that's the one you got to
That
prepare
hurt.
for. But because anything that's like on bone, there's no muscle to pad it. Like that's what sucks.
Yeah.
Yes, Paramount Network, previously Spike TV. Because like I was gonna call it Spike TV, and I'm pretty sure they rebranded, and that makes sense
Yeah.
because it's on Paramount's YouTube channel now.
Hmm. All right.
All right, let's hit some.
We'll end
Absolutely.
tattoo talk with this particular super chat.
We're
Happy to do
fucking.
it. Happy to do it, Kay. Clearly, we're both very
We're all
passionate about our
vibes. I
tattoos.
like this. All vibes.
All right. Going back to the top for
Yeah, I was
Wiley.
gonna say we'll start at the top.
Hello, my favorite people. Since today on Netflix Incoming is released, do you think we could get early 2000s action comedy high school movies again,
I
like
think we
Clock
are.
Stoppers, Punk Pop, Needle Drops? I think.
Yeah. So like I mean,
I
we're
think
already getting it.
Incoming might hurt that.
Well, incoming might hurt that in the way that we've both seen it, and
I mean, we might as well just review it.
we could do that. Yeah, we could do that in a minute. But I think
Yeah.
answering this specifically, like I think we are seeing this already because we're seeing it with Dee Dee, we're seeing it with Y2K, like
Dee Dee's a good example.
and like Y2K especially.
Yeah.
Did you see that at South by?
I didn't. I missed
Okay.
it, and I was very sad.
But yeah, so the way obviously movies work and the way that the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and like the 2010s, like we've beaten the 80s to death, but it keeps coming back in a way because people want to see that, and it's like a cyclical thing. And then we did the 90s, and that was maybe not as much, but we started getting some 90s nostalgia peppered in. And I really do think we've now finally gotten to the point where it's 2024, and like 2000 is a long time ago. Like that is now a decade, 2 decades away plus, and we can start looking back on it with either fondness or critique. So I think we finally have hit the point where enough people who grow up in that era are making movies. Super dark times, like there's I can keep going down like things like that, but I think we are going to see the influx now of Y2K era kids. I mean, I was sitting there laughing my ass off at Y2K.
I read this in a slightly different way. Initially, I was thinking getting more action comedy high school movies like we did in the 2000s
Oh, like we
versus
did in the
ones being made
2000s.
today taking place in the
Referencing.
2000s, because
Oh,
that's kind of why I made my incoming comment
no,
too.
that's fair.
Like it does feel like incoming is obviously taking place in present day, but it feels like it's trying to tap back into like the raunchy humor of 90s and 2000s high school comedies, and it doesn't do it very well.
No, it tries to subvert it too at times, and I find it really funny that they thought they were making a really neat commentary on like, hey, look at how gross those American Pie movies were, but then they go ahead and just do the thing. Like
Yeah.
it's such a fine line between satire and just becoming the thing that you're trying to make fun of, and incoming fails at that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah, but I would like high
I mean,
school
Pop Punk
movies.
Needle Drops too. Like I'm missing the era of every time a movie would come out, we get a rock album or something, like
Yeah,
the
I like that.
Spider-Man CDs, the Daredevil CDs, like
Oh,
anything.
mine were the big ones were like
Oh my god, Empire
Empire
Records.
Records, Can't Hardly Wait, I listened to
Yeah.
over and over and over again. Even movies like She's All That had a good soundtrack. Like, I miss that kind of stuff. I
There's
miss that
that
vibe.
there's that super broy that didn't
Of
grind,
course.
that didn't hold up
Oh, I
as
remember
well.
Grind.
But
Yeah,
like I listened to the grind soundtrack so much.
I
Like I
believe that.
found artists I still listen to today because of grind.
Yeah, no, I've got I mean, everybody knows my big one with Empire Records. That was the movie that taught me about the Gin Blossoms, and I still listen to the
Right.
Gin Blossoms, and I saw them live quite a few times, but that movie made me obsessed.
I mean, Resident Evil Apocalypse heavily featured Kill Switch Engage, and that's honestly how I found them.
Hmm.
And like I miss even like the horror movies that would just it's the most absurd movie, and then it just hits the credits, and it's
That
like blasting like
that
the
was
most ridiculous song, and I'm like,
a
what
big
is
90s,
happening?
2000s thing. Like, what
Yeah,
was, it was, My Chemical
yeah,
Romance at
My
the end
Chem.
of, House of Wax?
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you're just like, what is happening?
But it
Like
would make me sit through the credits.
it would. I agree.
Alright,
Yeah,
I
I want that
appreciate
back.
that.
I need that back.
Alright, do you just wanna do a brief incoming review, considering we've both seen it
Yeah,
and we're somewhat talking about
we
it?
can get through that quick.
So, Incoming is the new high school comedy that's now available to stream on Netflix, and it is about a group of kids who are just entering high school. They're freshmen, and they get the opportunity to go to a big senior party, upperclassmen party, I guess, because there's all ages there, and shenanigans happen. Do you want to start?
Fucking yeah, shenanigans. I mean, I do want to play off what I just said prior, where Incoming tries to look back on the entire movement of like teen sex comedies, and I do believe it's trying to make a commentary on what those movies normalized and why it's weird, and then it
Mhm.
just does it. And then it literally just does what it's saying it doesn't want to, and I think that nullifies a little point. But also that the humor is the humor's rough.
Yeah.
There's an entire subplot where a girl just shits her pants, and that's a running joke. Like it's literally just a running
Yeah.
gag in this movie, and that's the low bar that we're dealing with.
Yeah. So on that specific note, I will say, because full disclosure, I had Lauren Gray on Ladies Night for this. I didn't know anything about her really, and meanwhile, she's like something like the 20
She's
something most
delightful. Yeah,
popular person on TikTok or something.
yeah.
And she was a wonderful interview, like very smart, very kind, very positive, like all the things you would want in a budding star in Hollywood. It was a little tough to watch some of that. I will say for her in particular though, because a lot of the humor didn't work for me. A lot of it fell flat. A lot of it was difficult to watch. In the end though, certain characters get like little buttons that are meant to feel like satisfying conclusions. She sticks the landing better than anyone though.
Oh, 100%. I do want to say like I liked some of the performances in this movie. It is just the material
The
that they are
material
dealing
is
with. Like
rough.
that's the thing. They get some funny moments, and I will give her all the credit because no spoilers, but like
she
her
goes
payoff is
for it.
wonderful. Yeah,
She
goes for it, and her payoff is wonderful too. So there are moments like that, but on the whole, it just feels like, again, this doesn't even hit the level of American Pie. It's like American Pie sequel number 7, fucking Return to Bandcamp ×3. I don't like it. Just doesn't. It's a straight to DVD fucking mock off of all these other teen sex comedies.
Yeah, I mean,
Good Boy. Oh wait, shit. Hold on. Yeah, Good Boys. Good Boys fucking rules.
Yeah.
It's
Good
how you
Boys
do
is good.
raunchy comedy today. It's very
it's a good
good.
comp there.
Yes.
The Bobby Cannavale stuff was I thought was the single worst thing in the entire film.
He made me laugh only because I adore Bobby Cannavale, but that pushing it where they did, yes, that was very boring. I agree with that. I thought he was fun.
I don't even understand why something like that is funny. I mean, I'm not going to tiptoe around spoilers here.
Yeah,
He's like the one adult in the kids movie. He's the teacher who goes to the high school party. There's just so much about that's wrong on so many
it's
levels,
incredibly wrong.
And not wrong in a way where it's like, oh, someone towing the line, daring to be bad, so it could be kind of fun. It's just like flat out wrong and awkward and uncomfortable in all the worst ways.
Yeah, it plays with that cringe humor that if you're not into stuff like Shiva Baby and just the awkward humor, and that's all it's meant to be.
I love Shiva.
Oh, I love Shiva. No. I love Shiva Baby too, but I'm just saying, on the whole, like if you don't like good awkward comedy, you're not going to like Incoming because it's once again cringe awkward comedy, and you know Cannavale playing a science teacher who's showing kids how to make flaming shots and giving them a lesson. There's something cute about that.
There was something there. It just
doesn't
push it way too far.
Well, because I think the thing is, it goes exactly as poorly as you think it will. Like, yeah, he's the teacher who is, going through a divorce. His life is in shambles. So he goes to the college party, the high school party. Like, he does the thing that you're not supposed to do. And it could have been a quick little in and out, fun little lesson. And again, they just beat it to death. They beat the joke just fucking to death.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't recommend this, but I think the big takeaway is it's kind of fun to see, some younger actors who, if they're not already super big, I think I know are gonna head in the better directions. But yeah, the story did not work for me.
Yeah, it's not super bad. It's just super bad.
All right.
Get what I did there.
I did. You're very funny, Matt. You're almost as funny as Incoming.
Damn. That's a fucking,
that was a bad burn. I'm sorry. Now I feel bad. Now I feel bad.
Good
all right, let's move away from that one.
It's just bad. Yeah, but like legit, like closing the book on, like we don't have to talk about it that much because you've seen this movie 17,000 times before with a high school party and done way better. And also, I think the ending kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest. I know what it's playing for. I think the ending is so anticlimactic, and it ends on once again a super awkward comedy moment, and then just cuts to black, and I'm like, oh, that's unfulfilling.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that too. Huh. All right, maybe skip that one.
Yep.
Toon Talks is here. Hey guys, seeing Strange Darling and finally Sing Sing today. I still have to see Sing Sing. Did you see that one, Matt?
I did not yet. No, and again, I should.
I'm so mad I've missed all my screenings. Mixed on Blink twice, but mostly positive. The Crow, as expected, is abysmal. Did you see The Crow?
I skipped that. I'd reviewed 6 movies this week, and that was the one that was like, I don't have to.
Fair enough. Do you want to just go down the line here in terms of what we did see?
Sure, yeah.
All right, I'll very briefly talk about Strange Darling. I'll repeat what I've been saying for literally a year now. Strange Darling was my favorite film out of Fantastic Fest 2023. If the movie had gotten a 2023 release date, it would have been in my top 10 of the year. Now it hits theaters in 2024, and I would be genuinely shocked if that movie was not in my top 10 of the year. And it's a really exciting time because I'm saying that about Strange Darling. And then another movie that comes out in 3 weeks is My Old Ass. And like being so confident that things are going to be your favorite of the year this early on is very exciting.
Yeah.
Strange Darling is a movie that I would suggest not looking up too much about because it's a story that's told in a non-linear fashion. So you don't want anything spoiled for you on this one. But, it's basically like a cat and mouse chase type story with Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. both are delivering, like, I think both of them are great in general, but here it's like peak work. In particular, though, Willa Fitzgerald is just like so damn good in this. She does things that I can't comprehend how that's possible for a human being to perform those kinds of beats. I thought she was just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, now it sounds like I'm getting hyperbolic, but if genre movies were accepted into the Academy Awards, I would want to see her get nominated for her work. It's probably also going to be one of my favorite performances of the year by December. So I cannot recommend this enough. I think the storytelling is exceptionally well done. I love seeing something like a non-linear narrative where it's used in an effective way and not like a device. And it's done really, really well here. The film, it's shot on film and it's beautifully photographed. I mean,
Hi, Giovanni Ribisi. Like, well, like
yeah,
I didn't laugh because I'm
it's got an
laughing at him
eye.
doing it, but literally, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Ribisi
It's
just became a DP. Okay,
it's a
cool.
very, very good looking movie. I mean, this is gonna sound like a little trivial thing, but man, I've never seen smoke look so beautiful in my life on
Oh,
screen.
that's
It's
cool.
it's very, very effective, and there's a whole bunch of visual choices where it is just so abundantly clear that the way that something is framed is elevating the work that the actors are doing. And what more can you want from a combo of great actors and a cinematographer? So I am just
Reds.
so incredibly wowed. Yeah, you're gonna like the Reds in this movie.
Love it.
It's got some real good Reds, actually. I'm thinking of one particular scene. I have we're launching this on Sunday. I have Willa on ladies' night, and we went in on quite a few
I'm doing it.
spoilery scenes, and there's one in particular that's bathed in red that I think you're gonna like hearing about. But I
I mean,
thought literally everything in this movie was exceptionally well done. Again, it's bound to be one of my favorites. And I wish movies like this got a little more love during award season because I truly believe this one deserves it.
Indie Spirit Awards, possibly.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I mean, I have to imagine it's going to pop up on that level of the circuit for lack of better words, but shouldn't have to say I shouldn't have to say that. Everything should be
No, I know.
included no matter, what studio is releasing it and how much award season funds they have versus like the bigger juggernauts, but so it goes. And at the very least, I expect to see this movie on a lot of end of year lists and just getting a whole lot of love throughout its run.
Yeah, it's one of my great. Like, listen, the fact that I had to pick and choose this week, it's like it's such a bummer because most of my sites had reviews for it at a Fantastic Fest. So for me, I had to focus elsewhere, and I'll get to it when if I can sneak in there for an Alamo screening, I'm gonna try, but probably a VOD. Like the minute it hits VOD, I'll watch it. Like that's not.
Yeah.
I for as much as listen, I know like I want things to be in theaters and I want things to be doing that. For as
Yeah.
much as I want that, at the same time, it is nice when there's such a stacked week, and I know this VOD is probably a few weeks away. Like the way things are going,
Um,
or are they
I
actually going to space this one out?
I haven't looked at any early box office tracking information.
It just feels like that's what's happening more and more. So like in my mind, like it's just maybe that's how I'm conditioned now.
Um, I don't see any information on that at the moment, but I have to imagine Strange Darling is hitting less theaters and
Oh
maybe
yeah,
they are focusing on giving it a fair theatrical run. And also, I don't know what the per theater average is,
yeah,
but I kind of hope that it does last in theaters for a little while. It is,
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
highly
No,
recommend
I
seeing
hope
it
it
on the
does
big
too.
screen if you can. I just know you have a million things to do, so I wouldn't be like, you
Oh
have
yeah,
to see it.
I'm speaking like just from a critic's perspective when like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
overworked and I'm literally like picking and
I get
choosing
it.
assignments. And, like that was honestly that was The Crow. It was either this week I reviewed The Crow
Oh,
or Blink Twice, and I was like,
smart
that's
choice.
easy. My
Smart.
editor even I
Yeah,
bless my editor because I was like, take your pick. Which one do you want? And he's
yeah.
like, fucking throw away The Crow. You're doing Blink Twice, and I was like,
Yeah,
cool, great.
I think that was the right pick. With that, you wanna talk about Blink Twice?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. This one, then we're gonna do it. This is our review of Zoe Kravitz's feature directorial debut, Blink Twice. It stars Naomi Aki as a woman working as, I guess, a cocktail waitress in this in a
Yeah,
place where she gets what seems to be the opportunity of a lifetime, the chance to be whisked away by a tech billionaire and go to his private island for basically nonstop sun time, pool time, great food, endless parties, and she gets to hang out with his high profile friends. And she eventually becomes suspicious of the situation, and then darker things start to happen. I thought this movie was excellent, Matt.
Yeah,
I
I'm just gonna before we get into it, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna confirm we're gonna keep it spoiler free, right?
yes,
Okay.
definitely
Spoiler
keep it
free.
spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
If anything, maybe we'll circle back to spoilers next week on this one, but it's brand new, and I want
Yeah,
as
no,
many
I
people to
just
see
wanted to
this
make
as
sure
possible.
everyone knew. Yeah, yeah.
This is one heck of like a big swing, an ambitious film for a feature directorial debut, both directing wise and writing wise as well. And I know Zoe Kravitz co-wrote this movie with someone, but this is the type of thing that does not work unless the story itself and the reveal of certain information is perfectly structured. And also, it doesn't work unless they get the tone just right, because this right here is a genre mashup. It's got action, it's got horror, it's got comedy, it is satirical. And all of those things need to be blended together quite perfectly for every single one to work on their own, but also for the world to feel cohesive. And that's not easy to do for someone who's on their 10th feature, let alone their first. But it is
Yeah.
just so abundantly clear that Zoe Kravitz had a clear vision for the film and knew how to execute it and was going to execute it with maximum authority. This feels like an extremely confident film from her, and it left me one so excited to rewatch Blink twice as many times as I possibly can, but also to see what she does from here, because there is no doubt in my mind that she's got what it takes to continue to make it as an actor and now as a writer director as well.
Yeah, I really honed in my review on the genre splitting nature of it because at points it's just a party movie. At points it's this weird whodunit. At points it is very Peelian in the way that he plays with horror, but also the mystery behind it. So like I pulled this up specifically.
Yeah.
Looks like Get Out 2, and like in my review I said it has the amount of different subgenres I kept finding in it, and like it felt like a amalgamation of like Promising Young Woman, Get Out, Glass Onion, Ready or Not. Like there are parts of all of those strewn about this movie, and that is also what impressed me. Like I'm trying not to like double dip on what you just said, but I was enamored with how Kravitz was able to behind the camera navigate going through all of those. Like when it has to be one of those fun party scenes, we're laughing along with it. And like on the whole, I do think this is actually a really funny movie. It is a horror thriller. It's a survival thriller film at the end of the day. But I was laughing my ass off through it in the way that I was laughing at other like darkly comedic films. I mean, like again, like Promising Young Woman made me laugh a lot, but it's also obviously what it is. So I really am into that whole nature of it, and the cast is like one of my favorite ensembles of the
Yeah.
year so far. That just oof, and that's beyond Aki and Tatum, like the front two, let's say, because they're doing tremendous stuff and they're the focal point. But like I was getting huge Matthew Lillard vibes from Simon Rex. Like I just the way that he played him felt very Lillard in his like goofy stoner haha bro vibe. So like getting all those little supporting parts, like everyone on the cast. I don't want to just single out Simon Rex, but like up and down, the men, the women, like I thought this was such a well cast movie, and that played into the chemistry, whether it was the good vibes or the real bad vibes.
Yeah. Well, it's, as we were talking about genre, we can talk the same way about the ensemble, where the group needs to feel like a good whole for all those party scenes, but they also still need to feel like, you know, real people all on their own and make an impression all on their own. And I do think every single actor cast helps to make that happen.
Yeah.
I loved Adria Arjona in this too.
Yeah.
I thought she
100, yep.
was something else. I've seen a lot of her work. I literally just had her on Ladies Night for Hitman, and I do think she does a really great job in that movie of jumping genres in a single film too. But she has some things in Blink Twice that do feel like, perhaps first time acting challenges for her. And I think she just nails every single one. I'm not going to spoil anything here, of course, but there's a couple of lines that I'm thinking about and I keep hearing over and over in my head. And
there's one line for me. There's one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know,
I'm not going to say it. I'll
I'm
shout
gonna
it at
say
you
it
after. But
no, the line doesn't have any spoiler implications.
Oh,
Mine is just one. It is during a scene, and Channing Tatum's character Slater is the tech bro millionaire who you like. He's just the guy you envision, and he's 1%. He's all those things we hate, and he earnestly is having a dialogue with someone, and he just looks at them and goes, "Brunch is so fucking real, bro."
Oh,
Like he's trying to describe how you can forget all your problems and do all these things, and how you can live a life that is not overcomplicated. And he's like, "That's what brunch is for, man. Brunch is just so fucking real." And like that line, I will repeat for the rest of my life.
I'm not going to repeat the one that I was about to repeat because it does happen later in the movie. It's not really a spoiler out of context, but I want you to experience it all on your own when you watch the film. But I thought she was especially electric, and so was Naomi Ackie. And my God, Channing Tatum. It's not like I didn't know he was a talented actor. We've obviously seen him in, a fair share of big blockbuster comedy, action, romance movies, stuff like that. I've seen things, I don't know, like Foxcatcher comes to mind. I know he can act on a variety of levels. He has a couple of performance beats in this, in particular, one that I think might be one of my favorite scenes of his ever, ever, ever. It is not an easy thing to do, where it's a situation where you're saying something in the moment, and it has to come with an incredible amount of history and weight. And oh boy, does he go above and beyond, just absolutely crushing that scene. He is great. I'll also say I loved how Geena Davis was incorporated. Yeah. I think she got some of my biggest and favorite laughs of the entire film. I thought she was great.
The piece of furniture. Oh my God. I forget what exactly it is, but it's that little chair, and just Channing Tatum
can't stop thinking about that. Every time I look at a piece of furniture, I'm like, do I like where that is? And
so I think that's so in speaking of that gag specifically, for people who haven't seen the movie, it is a silly running bit through the film, but it basically Slater, this douchebag of all douchebags, he can't decide where a chair in his room should go. And it is such a little weird tick, but at the same time, it just shows him as a person where like he's overanalyzing every single goddamn thing, and he can't, like, it's just such a fun way to incorporate that choice logic. And then it gets extrapolated throughout the film and the themes.
That's another thing that I really loved about Blink Twice.
Yeah.
Every single thing being done in it has purpose. Like, even if I'm going to narrow it down to the visuals, this movie is just absolutely packed to the brim with stunning photography. Just like,
it is.
Simply put, really pretty frames, but also the beautiful nature of those frames are designed in a way to enhance certain beats and feelings and performance elements. So, I mean, it's kind of like what I was saying about Strange Darling. Everything is serving a purpose, and everything is working together in a way to amplify another department's work. And that's why you have an ambitious movie like this working as well as it does.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Emerald Fennell in this film. Even beyond Promising Young Woman, like thinking about what you're talking about with cinematography and all these, like how you can view the 1% and present them with such opulence at all times, but also get to like the disturbing nature underneath. I mean, that's Saltburn in a way too. I think there's a lot of Saltburn comparisons if you smash that up with Glass Onion and that presentation. But I will say the one thing, not the one thing, like it's a very good movie to me too. I actually gave it like a 4 out of 5. I had a fucking blast with it. But the one thing that I will say is, in its unsubtlety, like this is a movie that's screaming in your face its messages, and that's good. Movies should do that. Like fuck subtlety it sometimes. And this is one of those movies I think it benefits it most of the time. But there's like 2 or 3 scenes that just, as the film deals with therapy speak being manipulated, as the film deals obviously with the cancel culture not working in instances, and how men just continue to get away with it with fake apologies, and how those go together, and men use therapy to kind of excuse themselves of shit. I feel like there is a little bit just overindulgence in saying all the lines we've heard over and over again online, where it's like just like once or twice, it was just beating the dead horse, versus those 2 scenes could have been a little more impactful if we didn't have to say every single thing we know has been said before. So again, I appreciate everything that's going on with it. And I think it works for most of the movie, how it is aggressive and angsty and fueled by rage. I just think like once or twice it just lost control of that, and reining that in just a tad, I think would have fucking benefited so much.
I'm curious to know what those moments were for you. I didn't pick
Yeah.
up on them, but
Mhm.
I get it. It is, it's very heavy-handed in certain
Yeah.
respects, but I think it's intentionally so, and I
Yeah,
think it's
exactly. Yeah.
necessary for what the movie ultimately is. But
Mhm.
I'd be right there with you score-wise. I would
Yeah,
100% be
4 or
giving
5.
this movie 4.5 Deweys out of 5 on the Dewey Decimal Movie scale. Just loved this movie. I
It
love I love the confidence. I love the color, the colorful characters, the visuals were phenomenal. I'm just so excited for her and her future behind the lens in this industry right
it's
now.
weird to call this a crowd pleaser knowing what it's talking about, but at the same time, I think it really is. Like, it's one of those movies that is just entertaining from beat
Yeah.
1 to the finale,
I
and
use the word energizing in
yeah,
my
energizing is good,
plea. Like, I was,
invigorating.
like, buzzing when I left the
Yeah.
theater, like, in a good way. I was fueled by where the story left me, but also the entire movie. I was kind of vibrating.
And I really do wanna connect back to the Jordan Peele-ness of it all, because that's, and again, like, I'm saying it in the sense that Jordan Peele knows how to tell a horror story, but also like weave this mythology into it that isn't always on the surface, but it's bubbling underneath, and you know it's there, but you still kind of can't grasp it. Like, I think Get Out especially does that super well. And that's what I got a lot of in
Mm.
this movie, without going into what that is. But you always know there's something unsettling. You always know
Yeah.
that something is going on, but he's putting the facade on, or, Jordan Peele, like when he puts the facade on half his characters, Kravitz does the same thing, and you kind of forget
Yeah.
yourself. Like, you do, like, you're watching these scenes and then slamming shots and doing all this cool party shit, and you're like, oh, whatever, they're having fun, we don't have to worry about it, it's like
Yeah.
everything's fine, right, guys? And that is so powerful throughout the film. It's a really good trick.
It's hard not to get lost in that fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, because, I think anybody would be able to relate to wanting some of that a little bit, and that's why you can slip into that mindset, especially while watching a film version of it. And then when she when she reveals what's actually going on and starts to dissect why our brains work that way, and why maybe we need to veer course in some respects, it's
Yeah,
a
it's good.
wallop. It's great. Can't recommend it enough. I love
Yeah,
going twice.
fuck subtlety. Yeah.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
All right. We had another did we have another review? No.
No,
Yes?
that
Oh,
was
we did
the next stuff.
Incoming Strange Darling and Blink Twice.
Yeah.
Now we have more super chats.
I was
Oh,
gonna say we have more soupies.
I liked Blink Twice. Great start
Yeah.
for Kravitz. I cannot agree with that more. Mirror Domains. Ah, yes. Oh yeah, we got this one from Kay. Now it's Caleb time. We have Patreon fantasy football draft on Sunday.
You've been keeping up with injuries?
I have to do more research. Like, I'm definitely going to, put my butt in a chair and sit and research all day tomorrow. But I have restarted my obsession with the NFL channel. So I've watched a lot this past week,
Keep up
and
with those injuries.
yeah,
3 seasons already, got a few of
I,
them.
I've seen quite a few. Um, what draft was that? Oh, you're 8. You were happy with 8 too, right?
Oh, I actually am very happy with
Yeah.
8. I'm happy with 8 because a few players that I would be tempted to draft if I had like 1, 2, 3, or 4, I don't have to worry about anymore because I have concerns about them living up to that potential. I think Justin Jefferson's one of them. He's in a much worse situation
Oh,
now,
well,
and
that I could see.
he is himself as good as he always is, but it is the platoon around him, and there's no way I think he can match that output. So I 8 is nice because I know exactly who I want, and I think they're going to fall to me. So
Hmm.
I'm now I'm handicapped with that position in a way, but at the same time, it's one I'm willing to have.
I'm not going to say the player that I want. I'm number 3 in
Okay,
Patreon. I know who I want. I'm not going to say. And
that's the thing.
the 2 people above me are Ian and Christy, and they make me nervous. Like, they're smart. They're both smart fantasy football players. So
Well, I mean, McCaffrey's off the board there. Like, you're not getting McCaffrey most likely. I don't know. Maybe Ian or Christy will prove me wrong
on
if they've got
Sleeper, I
dogs.
don't think he's 1 or 2.
I mean, yeah. Well,
But
yeah.
which charts are you going to go
How could he
by
not
for?
be though? So that's the thing. You look at these guys. A lot of the analysis that like I'm reading is kind of like you kind of have to take McCaffrey number one, but can he actually live up to the number one potential like that we've anointed him with? Fantasy, it's weird. Fantasy football is weird like that, but I mean, if I was 3, I'd probably be taking Jefferson if he's there. Like that's just honesty, but I'm happy I don't have to worry about that.
Dude, this is a direct dig. And you want to know who number 4 is too? 4 is Amelia. I feel like you're targeting us.
I mean, I know what's happening there. I don't have to worry about that.
I know what's happening there too. Literally,
and it's correct.
In our league can guess what's happening.
But
there.
like, it's also correct.
Out loud, just in case someone doesn't. Yeah, no, I don't. I honestly don't think that's a bad choice. And then Tommy, if he's watching, is number 5. So
I mean, that's a fucking that I don't know. That I fucking gonna pick Gronk again from the commentary booth.
I start to think that like I'm jealous of, someone like Mark who's actually 14 because we do the snake order draft and
I don't hate that. I think I do that last year.
I think if I learned anything over the years, maybe with snake order, I shouldn't want to be first. I like what is the point in being one of the first unless you're 1 or 2, I don't know.
I'm one the Hard Knocks curse. I mean, the Giants are gonna suck because like Hard Knocks this year is Giants. They did the preseason and then the Bears are the regular Hard Knocks. So it's like the Giants are already fucked. Like that team is in shambles. Danny Dimes is not your quarterback. And did they draft Malik Neighbors or something? I forget their number 1. But like they drafted this really fucking good wide receiver. So this guy is out there like performing like he should as number 1 pick, but like you can't rely on fucking Danny Dimes there. I got no faith in it. And then the Bears
faith in this either.
So yeah, get the fuck out of here. The other thing is Hard Knocks personal effect. I don't think Caleb Williams being not good out the gate is a curse. He's a rookie quarterback, so like you have to give them time a little bit. If he comes out swinging immediately with 3 brand new wide receivers on that team, hell yeah. But like I won't say it's a curse if they're bad because that's just a rookie quarterback. Like we've seen how many guys get drafted 1 overall, 2 overall. Yeah. They're supposed to be the savior of the team, and then they Ryan Leaf it. Like they're never heard from again. So like that could happen more. I think a curse is more you have an established team who goes on Hard Knocks and they just fucking shit the bed.
Oy. I just want the Jets to play well enough that I'm excited to go to that game in October. That's my one big ask.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
One big ask.
I mean, this is huge. Like the Caleb Williams thing is like, he's like Justin Fields, and they were fucking. Oh, interesting. Yeah, like that's Justin Fields. I love the Justin Fields and Russ Wilson fight going on in Pittsburgh.
I was busy watching a lot of that stuff today.
It's such a non-fight to me. Like I like, there's nothing there. Like you got no juice with either guy. So for me, I'm down on both of them. I've never liked either of them really.
Who do you think is going to start?
They're so different because Russ can't run anymore and Fields has the mobility. So depending on whatever way they want to go with the offense, I think they're both viable. I think they end up, if I'm being fucking honest, I think Russ is completely cooked and I'm going to go Fields.
I'll just to spice it up, I'll go the opposite. And I'll say Russ starts because I think that maybe they get cold feet and they just want like a hardcore veteran to like start it off slow or something. Yeah. But then we'll wind up seeing a transition mid-season where Justin Fields takes over full force.
Fair. And then fair if that's what happens. But yeah.
And like Russell Wilson's like burnt out at that point kind of thing.
I think he's the I don't know. I got nothing left for Wilson. He's had so many opportunities and blown so many of them. So I don't know.
I'm so excited.
But he was really good for a while. Don't get me wrong. Sorry. Like he had very successful years, but yeah, I think that's behind him now.
Yeah. I think I'm going to agree. Yeah.
Say something about
I'm going to agree with that. I have nothing else to say about him. If I was smart, I would like sit here while Matt's gone and tell you about all my strategies, but I can't because there's people in the chat who are gonna play in the Patreon league. We're drafting on Sunday. Very excited. You can bet we'll keep you updated on how everyone's doing each week. I'm so excited for week 1. I'm just so excited to have something to do research on that isn't movie or TV related. It's literally the only thing that could pull me out of this little bubble that we exist in. So I'm very excited for football to start.
I'm excited for football, but at the same time, I am full baseball until the
Oh
World
yeah,
Series is
yeah.
over at this point.
All right.
Astros are just they shouldn't be where they are, and we're back, and we're inevitable. So
You and your Astros. Let's see. What's cooking
we
at
missed
TIFF?
one.
I really want to see Heretic at TIFF. I can't remember what's officially on the Midnight Madness lineup, if I'm being honest, though.
Ick, Joseph Kahn's
Yeah,
new movie.
I do want to see Ick. There's a movie that I want to see about. Oh, it's called. Here's one that I really want to see. It's called Escape from the 21st Century. The logline for it is 3 high schoolers gain the ability to sneeze themselves 20 years into the future in this maximalist martial arts time travel caper. Like
I like, yeah.
that just sounds fun to me. I want to see that. And
I
the
love a gamble.
substance is on the midnight lineup. Heretic actually is not. Hmm. I
Is
don't
it
know,
on
but
like is it on
there's
one
a
of
lot
those
of stuff.
different? Yeah, I was gonna say, is that one of those different tracks, like when they do like
Yeah.
fucking visions and stuff like that at South by?
It always confuses me when a genre movie is not in the midnight lineup. I
Right.
just like who knows how I'm gonna classify it then. But there's
Stuck
a
in
lot of stuff that
visions.
I'm really looking forward to. Here, I'll just jump to this then. Perri, what's your most anticipated film at TIFF? I got tickets for a few films so far. I'm hoping I can snag tickets to Megalopolis and The Substance. No question, my number one most anticipated movie of TIFF 2024 by far is The Life of Chuck from Mike
Yeah.
Flanagan. It is one of my favorite Stephen King short stories of all time. I think that Mike Flanagan is an excellent director across the board. He can make a movie about anything he wants, any genre, and I'll have faith in him. He very clearly has specialties, and the type of story Life of Chuck is nestles into those specialties so perfectly. I think he is he is so well suited to adapt that short story. I just have
Yeah.
all the faith in the world.
I am
I'm
so fingers
excited.
crossed that shows up as a secret at
I was
Fantastic.
very
I'm
surprised,
hoping.
and a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I think you know what I think it is? Here's my prediction. And like I know absolutely nothing. I'm just trying to think why
Yeah.
it
Oh yeah.
wouldn't go straight from one to
We have
the
no
other.
insight. Yeah. Yeah.
Life of Chuck, I believe, is a sales title, isn't it? It's for sale.
Oh.
So my thought is if it's for sale, maybe there's pre-sale interest and they're waiting to see where it lands and what that distributor wants to do with it.
Okay. I get that.
That's my prediction, or at least that's what would make sense businessy wise to me.
Yeah.
Um,
There's Fantastic Fest is. I'm really curious what these secret screening titles are going to be. Assuming they did 4 last year, so
yeah,
I think they'll probably do 3 or 4 again.
yeah,
And I mean,
I would
we
hope.
don't have things like Smile 2 and things of that. So I like there's still some big titles out there. I'm curious. I'm wondering if they make it to Fantastic.
Yeah, I was sure Smile 2 was going to be on that lineup, and then it wasn't there. Which,
I think that's a that's good. That might be their poorest kept secret if it is a secret screening. I do
yeah,
not know if it is. This is all speculation, but like if it is one of them, I think that's going to be the one everyone figures out real quick.
yeah, yeah. I think that'll be one everyone figures out. I highly doubt they're going to screen Nosferatu as a secret screening there. I think,
I imagine if they did, but yeah, I think that's. I don't think they
yeah,
will.
I have to imagine they're going like the prestige route with that, and there's just certain like boxes you have to tick to make that happen. I'm trying to think of other ones from TIFF.
While you do that,
Um,
I'm bringing this up because I'm sorry for your loss. I listen. I have
yeah,
Mariners fans, friends, and there's still time in the season left. But if you didn't know, Perry, the Mariners had a 10-game lead on the Astros in the division, like I think a month ago, and now the Astros have won all 10 games back, and they're now 5.5 games in front of the lead in the division. So I'm living my best life right now, and I'm hoping
hmm.
we complete that. But I do feel very bad for Mariners fans, so I'm sorry for rubbing that in.
But it did it anyway.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
100%.
I'm looking forward to Baby Girl, Helena Rains, the director of Bodies, 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 her new movie. I am looking forward to the new Ron Howard movie.
Mm.
Eventually, I'll be able to tell everybody what I'm covering, which you're all going to find out pretty soon at this point. For some reason, those are the only movies my brain has enough space for right now. I'm trying to think. There's so many. Oh, Saturday Night. I really want to see Saturday
Oh
Night.
hell yeah, yeah! I
I'm
think I'm
definitely
really excited for that.
I'm definitely gonna make sure to do whatever I can to snag a ticket to that one. And I want to find time to see Anora too. I know that premiered elsewhere already, but
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm thinking about maybe going to a screening soon, but I don't know. I don't know. So much shit going on. Do we have anything else to talk about?
There's two
Oh, a
more
couple more
super chats.
supers.
You missed one up top. I'm gonna
Oh,
pull up
did
just so
I?
we don't,
Thank
just so we
you.
don't forget it. We'll
Can
come
you
back to
go
Ian.
can you
Yeah.
go to that one next?
Well,
What
I'm gonna do this one really quickly. We'll do Ian's
Ian, you
right after.
confuse me. You have a new avatar.
You're welcome.
Oh, wouldn't be seeing Blink twice without you guys. Was not on my radar before this. Do report back, Brett. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, hell yeah. Now go to Ian. Sorry, I just didn't want to forget it.
Ian's got a new avatar.
I
What are
know.
you all trying to watch at Fantastic Fest? Also, I have your beers for you to taste, Matt.
Yeah, literally au jus beer.
I'm very excited
Like
for
French dip au jus
what.
in beer form.
Oy vey. You too with your beer
Well, I'm
flavors.
excited.
I can't wait to see the new VHS movie, and I've already run one piece on this, so I will tell you why. I mean, I'm excited for many, many other reasons, but I got to visit the set of one of them, the skydiving one,
Yeah.
and my God, Matt, that
I'm excited.
that short
Yeah.
idea is just so right up my alley. I can't wait to see that, and I'm also excited to see Kate Siegel's segment too. I'm looking forward to that. What do you got?
I'm looking right now. I'm going down the list. I like ones I can say I've already seen.
Yeah.
If you want something, you want something real weird. If you got some time to kill and you just want to like have some fun with a real fucking wild indie, there's a movie called Chainsaws Were Singing. It is
Yes.
an Estonian horror musical about a chainsaw murderer, and it kind of plays like it has the potential to be the next like Hundreds of Beavers kind of really low budget but hilarious what the fuck, this is pretty good movie. If only it goes a little too long for the concept, and some of the humor is it lost in translation, let's say, for an American audience, but I had a fucking blast with that movie, and I did it at a Fantasia. So if you're looking for something weird, I would put Chainsaws Were Singing on there. I also liked Frankie Frico to a degree. It's not as it's Steven Kaczynski's next movie, the guy from Psycho Gorman and Astron 6, like all that stuff. And this time he's doing like Ghoulies, and it's this like these three puppets who you hire to help you party. So basically, this guy is just boring, and he hires Frankie Frico and his team to help him party. And it's this goofball little like comedy. It's never Psycho Gorman. Don't go in with those expectations, but it is a fun, practical, forward movie that kind of gets back to the olden days of like Critters, Ghoulies, and Puppet Master, anything in that vein. So I mean, that's a fun one you can have on your radar. But like stuff I'm excited for.
I'm looking forward to House of Spoils, the Ariana DeBose one.
That's fair.
She plays a chef who opens a restaurant at a remote estate and battles kitchen chaos, crushing self-doubt, and a haunting presence who threatens to sabotage her at every turn. I like the sound of that.
Actually, what was that one?
House of Spoils? Talented. House of Spoils.
Yep, that's immediately on my list. Okay,
I am quite eager to see that particular movie. I feel like we're missing something. Oh, Apartment 7A. I'm looking forward to seeing what they did with that.
The new Halle Berry movie, opening night.
No, that's Never Let Go.
That's what I'm saying. That's on my list. Like, yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, Apartment 7A is the Natalie Erica James movie. Yeah.
Well, it's Rosemary's Baby prequel, or I forget if it's a prequel or sequel. I forget which one it is.
Here, an ambitious young. Oh God, is this the right? Yeah. Oh yeah, and it stars Julia Garner. An ambitious young dancer dreams of fame and fortune in New York City, but after suffering. Geez. Oh, it's Friday, Matt. After suffering a devastating injury, an older, wealthy couple welcomes her into their home in the luxury apartment building, the Bramford, when fellow residents and influential Broadway producer, blah, 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 offers her another chance at fame. It seems that all her dreams are finally coming true. However, after an evening she can't fully remember, disturbing circumstances soon have her second guessing the sacrifices she's willing to make for her career as she realizes that something
Yeah, so that
evil
sounds
is
pretty cool.
living not
Okay.
only in apartment 7A, but in the Brantford itself.
Yeah, I'm in on that. Yeah,
I'm especially excited to see a new Natalie Erica James movie.
for sure. Yeah, I guess like I go to Fantastic Fest though, and I have better luck with like the indie stuff that's underneath. Like think of last year, like Bloodlines didn't really do much for me, and there's like other bigger titles. So for me, there's 2019. There's a movie called Detention, Taiwanese film,
Yeah.
very good, fucking awesome. It's such a good horror movie. That director's coming back with a movie. It's called Dead Talent Society, and it's I'm just gonna read the very short synopsis very quickly because I'm fucking into it.
I started reading the apartment 7A one. I'm like, this is going on and on and on.
Yeah, I just want to say what because like this is one of those movies. Dead Talent Society is probably gonna play this festival and then take a while to come out. So like putting it on radars is I think that's more fun. But like being dead is no picnic. In fact, ghosts face a perpetual competitive struggle to become scary or risk permanent disintegration. The most successful ghosts gain celebrity status in the underworld, compete for annual ghosting awards, and are hosted on late night talk shows. A ghost reputation and standing out among the undead prove just as important as the urban legend that their hauntings foster in the real world. So this movie is literally about ghosts competing to be the best ghost in the world. And it's like literally a celebrity competition. So I am high on my list. I love Detention. I love that director. He's reuniting with one of the stars from the film too. So I think there's gonna be a lot of chemistry already involved. And I fucking love that idea. Like these are the movies I come to Fantastic Fest for, if I'm being honest. Like Apartment 7A, I can see on streaming the next week. It's I never let go. It's the same thing. It comes out a week later. So this is the shit that I'm here for. Stuff like Dead Talent Society.
Yeah, I'll throw out one more that I'm really looking forward to. It's Bone Lake. It's the new Mercedes Bryce Morgan movie with Maddie Hassan. I'm just a big fan of the two of them, and I thought, I'm not going to say Fixation was a home run, but there were a lot of really interesting ideas, and I think really speaks to how talented she is as a director. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what their next collaboration together turns out to be. So that's another one that's pretty high up on my list.
Nice. Yeah, just sorry, Heavier Trip. I can't believe I forgot that one. There's a hilarious metalhead comedy called Heavy Trip, and this is the sequel. So nothing more to it. It is just Impaled Rectum is the band name, and they're one of those like they're a good band, but not the best. So the first movie is them just trying to get a major gig, and they finally get it, and they finally get some notoriety. So Heavier Trip is going to be the no longer struggling band, let's say. I think they have some kind of following, and it's still going to be their wacky, zany exploits. It's very funny. You don't have to really be a metalhead to appreciate it. Like the music is there, but the comedy is very stereotypes about metal humor and stuff like that. So it's very easy to come into. I put Heavier Trip on your list if you want to laugh and have a good time.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
The film festival 1-2 punch begins. I can't believe like there's next week of prep, and then after that I go to Toronto.
Yeah, and we just got our invite for Halloween Horror Nights.
Rub it in, why don't you? I'm gonna make you come back to Halloween Horror Nights with me.
All right.
I'm gonna make you. All right, with that.
So bad.
Yeah. That's it.
Go eat lunch. Then get a tattoo.
Pictures, please. Pictures. Other than your tattoo, what would you like to promote?
I will do the usual, and I will just say follow me at Donatobomb on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Instagram mainly. Also on Blue Sky and TikTok a little bit. And follow my podcast, Certified Forgotten. That is where me and my co-host Matt Monagle talk about horror movies with 10 or less critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. And we always have a fun guest on who will bring us a movie per episode, talk about it, try to champion it. And we just did one on, George Romero's Bruiser, which was a very fun episode with Adam Caesar, who wrote the Clown in the Cornfield books. So fun conversations like that. You're going to hear about movies you probably forgot about or haven't heard about with guests who are really fucking smart and energetic and entertaining. So Certified Forgotten, come listen.
That was the best certified forgotten pitch you've ever done on Merri Hour.
I gotta get better at it. I always like forget
I'm
about
very
it.
impressed. That was good, and I'll just emphasize that. Please do check that out. It's quality content right there.
Yeah.
I will also promote Collider Ladies Night. Go over to that YouTube channel to find my lengthy chat with Lauren Gray, who we just talked about in Incoming. There's a lot of very exciting. Oh my God, Matt.
We didn't. Hey, I don't watch the show, so I don't give a shit. The Acolyte got canceled. There you go.
Oh,
There's our. What do you
motherfucker.
mean? We're talking about it right
All
now.
right.
The Acolyte got canceled.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah, because
I can't
Disney's
believe I never
catering to
thought.
fucking knobs.
I don't think that's
I
entirely
do.
true. I think that kind of conversation and that kind of assessment of the situation is inevitable. It is a win for the people who tried to tear the show down for ridiculous reasons rather than watching it and giving it a chance. But I think there's like a multitude of other concerns that come with the Acolyte being canceled after just one season. Things like Disney scaling back in terms of taking risks and creating more unique stories with their major properties. I think that's highly concerning. And I also do think we are on the edge of seeing, a fairly significant amount of shows likely being canceled or not greenlit to begin with, because we're going to start to see the scaling back of material on all streaming platforms. Because look what happened. It boomed and then it
And then it
busted.
busted.
And now everyone's gotta reel it back in. And it's
What?
it's
I think
sad when we could have had a steadier stream upwards.
yeah, the 1-2 punch of Downey Jr. and the Russos returning to Marvel and then the Acolyte getting canceled really solidifies the fact that I think Disney is panicking about who they're making their content for and playing safe versus taking risks. And I think we are the only ones that are going to lose out in the future on that. Because if those together are very concerning. Like if just one of them happened, okay, like you're nervous about the MCU, so sure, you go back to your golden geese and you're going to give them the keys and they're going to take over and bring us back, sure. But now you go into Star Wars territory, this property you've purchased and you want to take into this grand land. And if that means we can't have unique stories anymore, like that's fucking yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, again, Star Wars is less for me because I haven't really kept up with Star Wars, so I'm not the right person. But from a completely business standpoint and looking at it in the sense that Disney just wants to play it safe as fuck now. Like that is going to erase so many opportunities I think in the future.
Yeah, safe as fuck is definitely not what I'm interested in. I mean, it's like there's a comment here from Mike. The fans have shown they don't want unique shows, movies in Star Wars. I think this is partially true.
Hard,
Because,
like a subset of fans have showed that. I
yeah,
think that's yeah, like definitely.
and the sad
The
truth is,
vocalist.
I do think that subset is enough to financially scare
Yeah.
Disney off from making more daring, inclusive material, which is incredibly unfortunate. But man, what a shame. And just speaking from a personal standpoint, there's nothing that I want less than more rehashing of these popular franchises. I love a whole lot of, past Star Wars movies and shows. I love a lot of the MCU. Nothing sounds more boring to me than a rinse, wash, repeat approach just to make the baseline fan base happy. And you know what's going to happen? Eventually, even that kind of content is going to run out of steam. You're going to do it to death to the point that that isn't even valuable to you. If anything, I would just carve a unique path forward and own it and stop getting scared off. I just feel like that's the way to preserve longevity, not what seems to be happening now.
Yeah, it's the little things of when the MCU was still, let's say, safer. And when the MCU, I feel like when it started out, like it had a template, they wanted to follow certain guidelines. And you had filmmakers like Edgar Wright who didn't fit the mold, even though they tried. And I don't want to get back to that time. Or when Lord and Miller, their movie, obviously Solo, they only got to make half their movie and then they were taken off the project, or the creative differences, whatever you want to say. I feel like we got past that a little bit because we did start getting much like Chloe Zhao made a fucking Marvel movie. That's crazy. Like at the end of the day, that is a crazy statement to say. But Marvel was willing, or sorry, Disney was willing to take those risks. And I think after just, again, looking at the Eternals, looking at the return that Disney is seeing on taking these risks, the choices they have made recently makes me think they're starting to go, well, those risks were things we did for a little bit because people said they wanted them, but now we're not seeing what we want to see on the back end. So that makes me scared.
I also think it's partly an effect that streaming caused, again, where we hit a point where they're like, content, like we need all the content. So inevitably, when you increase the amount of content, you're going to have a wider range of possibilities and types of stories. And now we're seeing the shrinking of the content pool. And, you know, I guess it shouldn't surprise me that with the big studios, the first thing to go is the bolder material, which will be far less stimulating for me going forward. But I have no control over those places.
All the dude bros can complain about whatever they want to complain about, and it just sucks at the end of the day that they might get exactly what they want. Like, that's just fucking all these jabroni pundits.
I mean, seriously though, I ultimately think that path is going to put them in a negative direction anyway. I also think that is going to burn out. The appeal of that kind of story is going to burn out eventually. You could squeeze the life out of it and get every single penny out of it you want, but eventually that will get depleted too. Whereas,
what do you mean, though? No, I was going to make a comment.
I don't know what you're showing me.
Oh, sorry. I was literally just turning. Sorry, I was listening.
Oh, I you were showing me something. Like, what do you mean? And showing me like a brand that has kept doing the same thing.
Well, I was just going to say, like,
over.
The way that you're saying it's going to go that direction, that's going to fail them in the future. But like, what do they care when they're gonna start getting verified hot badges for the shit that all these, like, you know, shows that cater to the dude bros who will either review bomb or review positive bomb to get the shit they want with these new stupid fucking Rotten Tomatoes badges? Because why do critics matter anymore? It's just the audience. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. They said in their email that critics are still the heart and soul of their site, and then the very next day literally come out with something that says, oh yeah, we have another badge for audiences though, because obviously, you know, that makes sense. Fucking stupid.
I just don't understand why this industry can't prioritize quality, thoughtful work across the board.
Because why would they do that when they can just pay for someone to say whatever they want on TikTok?
Wait, what are we talking about specifically now?
Quality work and paying people to do quality work.
Like reviews and stuff.
I meant on the press side. Yeah, absolutely. Like, critics don't matter as much anymore. Like, that's just reality. Like, that is, why would they use us when they can have people in their pockets to use? I'm not saying they all do, but I'm saying they exist.
I know it might seem to some like wishful thinking, but even with those types of reactions to films and shows, I still do think that good content ultimately rises to the top, and that there's going to come a point where the large majority of viewers like see through the cracks and ultimately come to realize when they're watching shit, and then they'll lose trust in the outlets that keep shoveling them shit. I think people are smart enough to realize that.
You put a lot of faith in people that I don't have.
But people are spending their hard-earned money to keep these streaming services.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter like whose taste aligns with yours or not, I do feel like as the quality diminishes to such an extent, or when people come to realize that they're being served the same thing over and over, the fact that they are spending their hard-earned money to get that stuff, like, eventually it has to level out. You have to realize, and then they're going to tune out and find something else to spend their money on.
Yeah, but the people also elected Trump president, so I don't know how much faith I have in people.
Oh boy, we ended on such a positive note, and then we re-ended on such a negative note.
Hey, you want to talk about AI?
No, I don't. Fuck AI.
Good. That's a positive thing to end on.
Here, I'll end on this positive note because I didn't even do my ladies' night plug after that.
Sorry, continue. Yeah.
Lauren Gray.
No, cut right back in. Yeah, cut right back in.
Lauren Gray is on the episode that went live today, and I highly recommend learning more about her. I don't know anything about social media superstars, so it really was a pleasure to get to learn about a different journey to acting in this industry. And she was really like smart and, you know, super thoughtful. And I really think she has the potential to go places as an actor if she wants to pursue that route. And then on Sunday, I will repeat, one of my single favorite performances of 2024 and one of my favorite movies of 2024, Strange Darling star Willa Fitzgerald will be on the show. And Yes, I talked a lot about Strange Darling because I am obsessed with it, but you also well know I am very obsessed with the Scream franchise, and she was the lead in the Scream TV show, so you could better I asked her about her experience working on all that as well. So check out Ladies Night. What was that?
I
Oh,
thought you were done. I apologize.
no,
I
you can
didn't
go
mean to
for
interrupt
it.
you.
I was gonna send it out from there. So if you want to bring something up, go for it.
I'm just gonna do one more and then send it out. Bryan Danielson winning or retiring on Sunday. Winning, and he's going to go on a run. He's going to have the run of his life and face everyone he wants to, and then go off in the sunset and be done. I think we're good, Zeno Hour.
and because you added this, I'll put a time code on this video. People always get so mad when we save our title topic to the end. They talk for 45 minutes until they got to the title topic. That's what Merri Hour is. It's an hour of shooting the shit and casually talking and not having a structure. So it will always be that way. But because today was very much my fuck up, I will put a time code for Acolyte talk at the very least.
I mean, I forgot too. There's two people here.
Thank you for saying that, because we would have gotten eaten alive if I left.
Yeah. Oh my God. Right. We just go through.
You. All right. With that, Matt, go get your tattoo. Show us pictures, and we will see you next Friday with a brand new Merri Hour.
Wait.
What?
It should be.
You know.
We don't have to talk about it.
We should. I mean, we should talk about it. We should talk about it.
All
right. We'll say goodbye. We'll talk about it. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye.